In the sprawling suburbs of Silicon Valley, where the air hummed with the promise of innovation and the distant roar of venture capital deals, lived Elena Vasquez, a 28-year-old force of quiet ambition. Born into the Vasquez dynasty, a family empire built on real estate and tech investments that spanned from San Francisco's foggy hills to the sun-baked expanses of Southern California, Elena had always been the invisible architect of her family's success. While her father, Roberto Vasquez, strutted through boardrooms with his silver-streaked hair and booming laugh, sealing deals that bloated their portfolio to over $500 million, Elena was the one crunching numbers in the dim glow of her laptop screen late into the night. She wasn't the flashy heir apparent her younger brother, Marco, pretended to be. Marco, with his yacht parties in Marina del Rey and his endless stream of Instagram influencers, was the golden child Roberto paraded at galas. Elena, on the other hand, had earned her stripes the hard way. Fresh out of Stanford with a dual degree in computer science and business, she'd joined the family firm, Vasquez Ventures, straight into the trenches. She optimized their property management software, turning a clunky legacy system into an AI-driven powerhouse that saved the company millions in operational costs. She negotiated the acquisition of a faltering prop-tech startup in Austin, Texas, which became their most profitable arm. Yet, for all her contributions, Elena was often dismissed as the smart one behind the scenes, a shadow to Marco's spotlight. Elena's life was a carefully curated balance of loyalty and restraint. She lived in a modest condo in Palo Alto, far from the family's opulent estate in Atherton, preferring the solitude of her rooftop garden where she tended to succulents under the stars. Her days blurred into a rhythm of spreadsheets, strategy sessions, and stolen moments with her rescue dog, Luna, a scruffy mutt who'd been abandoned much like Elena sometimes felt in her own home. She dated sporadically, nothing serious, because her heart was tethered to the family legacy she believed she'd inherit one day. Roberto had promised her the COO role after Marco's inevitable burnout. Her mother, Isabella, whispered encouragements during their rare brunches, reminding her that patience was the Vasquez way. But beneath Elena's composed exterior simmered a quiet fire. She'd seen the cracks in the empire: Roberto's growing reliance on high-risk flips in a volatile market, Marco's embezzlement of petty cash for his vices, and the family's unspoken favoritism that left her contributions footnotes in board minutes. Still, she stayed, driven by a deep-seated love for the name Vasquez and the dream of proving herself on her own terms. Little did she know, a single group chat message would shatter that dream and forge her into something unbreakable. Chapter 1. The Fractured Empire. The Vasquez family group chat, whimsically named Vasquez Victory Circle, was a digital battlefield disguised as familial banter. It buzzed incessantly with Roberto's motivational quotes from his latest self-help audiobook, Isabella's recipes for paella that no one ever made, Marco's selfies from exotic locales, and Elena's occasional updates on quarterly reports. Tucked among the aunts, uncles, and cousins scattered across the U.S., from Miami's Cuban enclaves to Chicago's windy towers, it was the glue that held their sprawling clan together. Or so Elena thought. It was a crisp October evening in 2025, the kind where the Bay Area fog rolled in like a thief, muffling the world outside her window. Elena had just wrapped a 14-hour day at the office, her fingers still tingling from typing out a proposal to pivot Vasquez Ventures into sustainable urban development, a green initiative she'd championed for months. Exhausted but exhilarated, she poured herself a glass of Malbec and settled onto her couch, Luna curled at her feet. Her phone pinged, a new message in the group chat. Roberto, family meeting tomorrow at the estate. Important. Be there. No excuses. Elena frowned. Roberto rarely used the chat for logistics. He preferred dramatic phone calls. She typed a quick reply. On my way, Dad. Everything okay? The response came almost immediately, but not from Roberto. It was a forwarded message from Marco, time-stamped from some nightclub in Vegas. Marco, hey everyone, heads up. Dad's got big news. Elena, you might want to sit this one out. Things are changing. Her stomach twisted. Sit this one out. What did that mean? The chat exploded with emojis. Hearts from Isabella, thumbs up from Uncle Carlos in Florida. Elena's thumbs hovered over the screen, a knot of unease forming. She scrolled back, noticing Roberto's icon, a photo of him on a yacht, light up. Roberto, listen up, Vasquezes. We've built something incredible, but it's time for fresh blood. Marco's stepping up as my right hand. Elena, kiddo, you've been great, but this isn't the place for you anymore. We think it's best you step away for now. Take some time, find your own path. Love you all." The words hit like a freight train. Step away? After everything? Elena's vision blurred, the wine glass trembling in her hand. The chat filled with supportive replies. "Proud of you, Marco." From Aunt Sophia, "Wise decision, Roberto," from cousin Luis. No one questioned it. No one mentioned her name except in pitying afterthoughts. "Isabella, Elena, Mija, call me later. We'll talk." But Elena didn't call. She stared at the screen, the pixels burning into her retinas. 20 years of loyalty, countless sleepless nights, and this was her send-off? A group text like firing an intern. Rage bubbled up, hot and unfamiliar, mingling with a profound grief. Luna whined, sensing the shift, and nudged her leg. Elena set the phone down, her mind racing through the implications. Step away from Vasquez Ventures meant losing access to everything. The office, the projects, the family trust. But more than that, it meant erasure. She paced her living room, the city's lights twinkling mockingly outside. Her thoughts turned to the family fund. A $200 million war chest Roberto had set up decades ago for emergencies and opportunities. As CFO in all but name, Elena had full signatory access. It was her insurance policy, the one Roberto had joked about during a late-night scotch. "You're the only one I trust with the keys, Elena. Don't ever let Marco near it." Irony, thy name was Vasquez. By midnight, the decision crystallized. If they wanted her out, she'd go, but not empty-handed. She logged into the secure banking portal from her laptop, her fingers steady despite the adrenaline. A wire transfer. $4.2 million from the family fund to a new LLC she'd quietly incorporated months ago under the name Nova Horizons. It was seed money for her green urban project, the one Roberto had shelved as too woke. Legally, it was airtight, her access was grandfathered in, and the bylaws allowed discretionary draws for business development. Morally, it was revenge, pure and poetic. The transaction cleared in seconds. Elena leaned back, a ghost of a smile on her lips. "Step away," she whispered to the empty room. "Oh, Dad, you have no idea." Chapter 2. Building from the ashes the next morning dawned gray and unrelenting, mirroring Elena's resolve. She skipped the family meeting, drafting a terse email to Roberto. Understood. Best wishes to Marco. I've initiated my exit protocol. Details to follow. No dramatics, no pleas, just cold efficiency. By noon, her desk at Vasquez Ventures was cleared, her keycard deactivated remotely. Marco texted her privately, "Sis, it's not personal. Dad thinks you're better off freelancing or whatever. Call me?" She didn't. Instead, Elena drove her Tesla down Highway 101 toward San Jose, the wind whipping through the open sunroof as she blasted a playlist of fierce anthems, Beyoncé's Formation on repeat. Nova Horizons wasn't just a shell company, it was her blueprint for the future. Over the past year, in stolen hours, she'd assembled a pitch deck, AI-optimized modular housing for underserved urban areas, powered by solar microgrids and blockchain-secured land titles. It targeted the affordable housing crisis in cities like Oakland and Detroit, blending profitability with purpose. Investors had nibbled at the edges during informal chats at tech conferences, but without Vasquez backing, it had stalled. Now, with $4.2 million burning a hole in her account, Elena hit the accelerator. Her first stop, a co-working space in downtown San Jose, where she rented a corner office with a view of the skyline. She called her network, old Stanford classmates turned VCs, a mentor from her internship at Google, even a skeptical real estate developer from LA who'd once dismissed her as Roberto's kid. The pitch flowed like water. Vasquez Ventures is yesterday's news. Nova is tomorrow, sustainable, scalable, and sorry-free. Word spread fast in the valley. By week's end, she'd secured a $10 million seed round from a syndicate led by a female-led fund out of Seattle. "We love a pivot story," the lead investor, Priya Patel, said over Zoom, her eyes sharp. "Especially one that sticks it to the old boys club." Elena didn't mention the family drama, but Priya's grin suggested she knew. Hiring came next. Elena poached talent surgically. Javier, a data scientist from Vasquez who'd confided his frustrations with Marco's micromanagement. Lena, a marketing whiz from the Austin acquisition who'd been sidelined. And Raj, an engineer with patents in green tech who'd jumped ship from a failing startup. They met in the co-working lounge, fueled by cold brew and Elena's unyielding vision. "We're not just building homes," she told them on day one, whiteboard sketches of ecopod villages sprawling behind her. We're dismantling dynasties. Rumors reached the Vasquez estate by the second week. Roberto called, his voice a mix of bluster and bewilderment. Elena, what the hell? That transfer. Explain yourself. She met him at a neutral cafe in Menlo Park, her posture straight as steel. It's business, Dad, she said calmly, sipping an oat milk latte. The fund's bylaws allow it. Consider it my severance. Severance? Your family. This is betrayal. Roberto's face reddened, veins bulging like rivers on a map. Family doesn't fire via group chat. The words hung, sharp as shattered glass. He stormed out, but not before muttering, "You'll regret this, Mija. The Vasquez name carries you." She watched him go, a pang of sorrow twisting in her chest. But regret? No, only fuel. Nova Horizons launched officially in November, with a splashy demo in an abandoned warehouse in Oakland. Elena unveiled the first prototype, a 500-square-foot modular unit, assembled in under 48 hours, with smart walls that adjusted insulation based on weather data and a rooftop garden that harvested rainwater. City officials from San Francisco attended, alongside reporters from TechCrunch and the New York Times. From Silicon Valley exile to eco-innovator, one headline read the next day. Views, 119,000. Likes, 3,300. Marco predictably tried sabotage. He leaked stories to industry blogs. Vasquez heir steals millions in family feud. But Elena's PR team spun it into empowerment gold. Reclaiming what's hers, the counter-narrative went viral on LinkedIn. Investors poured in, $25 million Series A by December, partnerships with HUD for federal grants. Nova's first site broke ground in Detroit's Brightmoor neighborhood, transforming blight into blooming communities. Chapter 3. The Reckoning. Spring 2026 brought the storm. Vasquez Ventures, under Marco's erratic leadership, overextended on a luxury condo tower in Miami amid rising interest rates. Costs ballooned, permits delayed. Roberto, ever the patriarch, doubled down, borrowing against the family fund, only to discover the $4.2 million hole Elena had left. Lawsuits flew, breach of fiduciary duty, embezzlement claims. But Elena's lawyers, a Shark Tank from Cooley LLP, dismantled them. Discretionary authority, they argued in filings. No malice, merely movement. The family imploded. Isabella called weakly, tears in her voice. Come home, Elena. We miss you. Aunt Sophia, the chats emoji queen, reacted with a string of shocked faces when Elena's success hit the news. Marco spiraled, arrested for DUI in Tahoe, his Instagram gone dark. Roberto's empire cracked. By summer, Vasquez Ventures filed for Chapter 11, assets liquidated to cover debts. The Atherton estate went on the block for $28 million. Elena watched from afar, her own company now valued at $150 million, with sites in 5 states. Nova wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, employing 200 souls and housing 1,000 families in eco-villages that dotted the map like green beacons. The final confrontation came at a real estate expo in Las Vegas, July 2027. Elena keynote on disrupting dynasties. Women in PropTech, her slide deck a tapestry of triumphs. From the audience, Roberto approached during the Q&A, gaunt and grayed. Marco slouched beside him like a defeated shadow. Proud of you, Roberto said, voice cracking as the crowd hushed. I was wrong. The message, it was Marco's idea. I was scared you'd outshine us all. Elena paused, microphone in hand. The room held its breath. It wasn't about shining, Dad. It was about seeing. She extended a hand, not for forgiveness, but for alliance. Nova could use experienced hands. If you're willing to learn. He took it, tears glistening. Marco nodded mutely, redemption a distant horizon. Epilogue. Echoes of victory. 2 years later, Elena stood on the rooftop of Nova's San Francisco headquarters. A converted warehouse with living walls and solar sails fluttering like flags. The city sprawled below, a canvas of progress. Luna, grayer now, snoozed at her feet. Her phone buzzed. The family chat, reformed and subdued, with a message from Aunt Sophia. Aunt Sophia, saw your TED Talk. Blew me away. Who's the real boss now? Elena smiled, typing back. Always was. Love you, Tia. The empire she'd built wasn't Vasquez 2.0. It was Elena 1.0. Unyielding, unbreakable, and utterly her own.